Hi and welcome to another YouTube video. In today's video I want to show you this romantic tiny cottage that I've built, and I've actually started building this before the leaks for the My Wedding Stories game pack came out, but when I heard the news I got super inspired to finish it, and I thought this build being all white and pink and romantic and stuff is a great excuse to talk about the new pack for the main portion of the voiceover, since I'm very excited and dying to talk about it and give you my opinion. But first, a little bit about this build. I promise I'll make it quick. I'll put in a timestamp to when I start gushing about the new Sims for My Wedding Stories game pack. Okay, so the initial inspiration for this build was this super cute image, and this one is just like so small. I think it's kind of like a toy house or something, and that I initially wanted to make this a 4x4 build challenge. I think that one would have gone very well, but then I loved it so much that I wanted to give it more space and more time, so I restarted it and fleshed out the shape a little bit more, and I really liked it. And a little challenge that I set for myself with the landscaping in this one is that I wanted the landscaping to be very neat and controlled, since I usually go really wild with flowers and stuff. And even though I left the terrain flat this time, since it felt more fitting for the neighborhood and the house itself, this is one of my favorite landscapings that I've done in a while, so maybe I should try neat landscaping more often. But yeah, on the interior I didn't have too much freedom for design since this house is so small. By the way, this is like a 40 tile house, so it's just 6 tiles more than a micro home. But I didn't want to make it any smaller since I was already struggling to fit everything in. Actually, like in my first go for the interior, I forgot to put in a bathroom. So I decorated everything, and then I was like taking pictures and stuff, and then I remembered, oh my goodness, I'm missing a bathroom in the interior, so I had to go back in and kind of rearrange some stuff to fit in a bathroom. So I definitely did not want to make it any smaller. Yeah, this way you still can keep it a tiny house, but expand on it with some special rooms that your sim might need when you choose to play in this house. Maybe it's like 40k, which is a little bit expensive for such a tiny house, but maybe it's still good for gameplay. I don't know. But yeah, for the interior I kept it in white, brown and cream colors, which is an area where I feel really comfortable. So I already pushed myself with the landscaping to keep it neat. Interior pushing, next build. To add a little bit more colors on the interior. I really need to work on that. And yeah, in the bedroom I added some boho vibes, but I think in the end I liked the slightly elevated kitchen the most, and I'm super curious to know which ones you like the most once we get to that part in the speed build. But now let's finally talk about the new pack. So I was first up so hyped for the trailer. I had seen the leaks and I was okay with the theme, and I heard there was going to be a new world and the pictures looked beautiful, so I was so excited and curious. And then when it was time for the trailer I was so positively emotional, because it's been so long since we got a trailer event like this, since kids don't really get a trailer, I think. So I think the last video on the official Sims YouTube account was from like 5 months ago or something, and seeing all of the hype in chat already hours before the premiere was so cool and got me like really, yeah, positively emotional, I would say. And the story in the trailer is wild and I'm here for it. I'm going to link the trailer in the description, hopefully I remember. But yeah, that took a lot of my attention the first time around watching, but then I went through it again in the slowest speed taken in all of the details for a second time, and that's what I want to talk about, if you're okay with that. So first of all, I want to talk about the thing that I'm most excited about, which is the new world, Totosa. It looks beautiful, it looks so good, and it actually looks to be pretty big. Like we've got the beach area, and from what I've seen in the trailer, I think we also maybe get some beach lots, like kind of like in Solani or in Brenton Bay. There are also waterfalls apparently. Then there is the town square, and apparently there are also gardens and a forest. So that's a lot. And even though I don't know for certain and I don't want to get my hopes up too high, I think the world is going to be bigger than Glimmerbrook and Forgotten Hollow, the vampire world. I kind of think and hope that maybe we're going to get multiple neighborhoods. Like, I don't want to get my hopes up too high, but it wouldn't be the first time that we would get a game pack with multiple neighborhoods either, because Salvadorado is such like a big and rich, beautiful world that also came with a game pack, Jungle Adventure. And like, given Salvadorado is only a vacation world, which is so sad. Like, I really want Salvadorado to be a normal world, and I really, really strongly hope that Totosa is not going to be a vacation home. That would be so devastating, but I don't think so. I don't hope so. Let's say that this. And I really hope that the lots are going to have some great lighting, and I'm so excited to build in this world with all of the new build items. Like, the chairs are so beautiful. And yeah, also again to the topic of like Totosa being a vacation world or not, in the blog post I think they wrote something about like staying in Totosa, and of course that could be like a vacation stay, but I really hope that it means that it's not a vacation world. This is just like, this is like the biggest thing that I'm nervous about with this pack, is Totosa being a vacation world. I really strongly don't want that. But I hope they don't do that. And especially now that we can have vacation homes anywhere, I don't really see like a need for it. But I didn't see the need for vacation worlds anyways. Like, I would have really loved to have some kind of, I don't know, some really cool Sims that are like inhabitants of Salvadorado. I wanted that for so long, but oh well. Oh yes, and the style of Totosa reminds me of a couple of things that I really want to talk about. First off, the beach view in front of the shops kind of gives me nostalgic Sunset Valley from the Sims 3 base game vibes. It's not extremely similar to Sunset Valley, but shape-wise it's a little bit similar. And then when I saw those Sims on the beach in front of this town square in the trailer, that really reminded me of the Sims 3 trailer that always played in the beginning of your playing sessions. And now I'm nostalgic and want to play The Sims 3 again, but that's besides the topic. And then it also reminds me of the like Mediterranean cities as well, and I've been so hoping for a Mediterranean, like French, Italian inspired world in The Sims for so long, because I think those landscapes are so beautiful, and Totosa gives me kind of like Greek Italian vibes. Kind of. And I don't know if it's actually supposed to be inspired by those countries, because I also thought Brenton Bay, the cats and dogs world, was inspired by the Netherlands and not Great Britain, so maybe I'm not the best one to quote on those things. But in any case, I think that I'm going to be able to fill all of the lots of the new world with some French, Italian inspired architecture, and it'll look fitting, and that's basically all that I want. And yeah, so get ready for a lot of speed builds in those styles. And And then the next thing that I'm really excited for is slow, or potentially with a higher skill level, even ballroom dancing. So we saw a little bit of slow dancing in the trailer, and I love to see that you can also dance with children. The animations look so cute, and because I've been ballroom dancing as a hobby for years, and I'm not anymore currently, but I have a huge soft spot for ballroom dancing in my heart, since that's also how I met my boyfriend 7 years ago, and because it's just fun to do, and so I'm super happy that we get to live that out in The Sims as well. And when it comes to build items, I'm the most hyped for flowers and candles. Like, we already saw so many beautiful flowers and candles that are new, and I think I'll be able to use them in so many builds, not just wedding venues, which is super exciting. And because there is a new world, we're bound to get a lot of new debug items, which is always cool, and because I love landscaping, that makes me very happy. Also, as I already said, the chairs are beautiful. They are a little bit more wedding specific, I think, but I think with certain build styles like a flower farm or something, they can work great for a backyard and stuff as well. The curtains are looking great too, and oh my god, the piano looks so magical, and I think it would work so great in like a fantasy elven type build. So I'm in love with the piano already. And I'm so curious which of the build items is going to be in my repertoire of items that I always use. And I'm pretty sure that it's not going to be the stained glass windows or the couch. The couch looks a little funny. At first I thought that was like garlic hanging down from it, so maybe I could use it for like a vampire hunter build or something, but yeah, we'll see. But yeah, also like just like some miscellaneous stuff basically. But the fact is that I just saw a tweet from a sim guru that there will be like an option when you, I think, click on one of the chairs to tell all of the sims to take a seat. And that's so big. Like, the sims always standing up during weddings, and you not being able to get your sims together sitting on a table when it's time for dinner or something. It's been such a struggle in The Sims 4, like forever. I don't know if the like request sims to take a seat option is also going to be able, like, if you're not in a wedding event, so I don't know if it's going to be able to help with the dinner situation, but it is going to help with the wedding situation for sure, so I'm very excited about this. Then the very first thing that you see in the trailer is someone doing some cake decorating. I don't know if that's just a new baking animation or if that's actually going to be a new skill. If it is a new skill, then that is so incredibly exciting, and I love like baking and cakes, so having a bake decorating skill is so up my alley, as well as the ballroom dancing, so I'm in love with this pack already. But as I said, I don't know if that's going to be a skill. That could also just be a new baking animation. Then the new clothes. So I don't spend too much time in Create a Sim, even though I really enjoy it, but I'm a person, I really love dresses. I think they are so handy. It's just like basically one piece of clothing you put on and then you feel like nice and elegant. So yeah, I really love clothes, no, not clothes, dresses, there we go. And I think there are some like really beautiful dresses in the whole trailer and what we've seen so far, so I'm also excited for that one. The window shopping looks super cool, like in preparation for the weddings, to go window shopping for clothes. I'm really curious to see if we can also kind of determine the guests' attire, or if we have to, like, basically if your sim has like a friend group, let's say of 8 sims that are in like a group together, if you want to have, for example, an Indian wedding, if you're going to have to go like through every one of those households and change their formal attire to be like clothes that fit for an Indian wedding, or if in the planning of the wedding, you'll be able to have a menu where you can assign the clothing attire for your guests as well. That would be like, I think, a great solution, and it seems like they're really improved upon like some of those things in the planning, so that you can choose a ring bearer, you can choose a flower girl, so maybe you can choose the attire as well. That would be incredible. So I'm very, very curious how that's going to work. And yes, when we're already on the topic of the like flower girl and the flower bouquets, like with the flower bouquets that you also like shop for previously, at least that's how the trailer made it look like, then I think we can definitely come up with some cool things to do with the bouquets using like some debug and some tool mod. So yeah, I'm very excited for that. Maybe it can be like a flower bouquet, and then I could size it up and lower it into the ground, and then it looks like a super cute flower bush or something. I'm curious to see. And yeah, the ring bearer and the flower girl, they were so cute. I'm curious to see if they have to be children or if it's just an option for them to be children. With both things, I think I would be okay. I think it's super cute, and I love that children are more involved now in The Sims 4, also with like the baking together and cooking together since Cottage Living. I think it's really, really nice that they give the children a little bit more attention and a little bit more stuff to do, even though that lowers my hopes for a Generations expansion pack a little bit. Even though when the Country Kitchen kit came out, I also said that we now basically won't get like a farming or cottage living pack, since if that was the case, then they would have included that kitchen in a farming pack, since it fits so well with that style. But we got that one like pretty much the next thing, so yeah, don't listen to me on those things. And yeah, I also love that you can throw the flower bouquet, and all of the different wedding arches have different styles and they look so, so cool. Of course, those items are pretty specific to wedding venues. But I think I can maybe come up with some ways to use them in some other builds as well. So I'm very, very curious for that. And we haven't seen enough of the more international weddings for different cultures yet, in my opinion, so I don't really know how many build items there are for those styles. And yeah, that's like one thing that I'm a little bit worried about, that they come off as like an afterthought, or they all just have like 4 items or something. But one thing that I really like about The Sims is that especially lately they really try to be inclusive and think about different cultures and identities, so I hope it won't look like an afterthought in the finished pack at the end. But I have to say, as much as I try to be cautious with my expectations, usually I do think I have faith in them with this one. And then I'm also like super, super curious about the build items that we can get in the like more Indian style maybe, or like a more Asian style, and how else I can use that, like in which build styles I can use those items. So yeah, that's going to be super cool. The hairstyles are super cute as well. I especially love the one that like the priest or whoever the person is that makes it official has this like hairstyle, and I think that one is super cool. And the female hairstyles are beautiful too, even though I'm a little bit worried because the veil seems to be attached to the one hairstyle, because we only ever saw it in combination with that hair. But I think there is still a slither of hope that it isn't, maybe because I really, really would prefer it to be like a hat accessory, so that also my Sims with shorter hair could get married with a veil. I think that would be kind of nice, but yeah, we'll see. And I know I've been talking for way too long already, but one last like very a speculation kind of thingy that I want to talk about with this one is all of the icons that we saw in the trailer of their reactions and their thoughts and stuff were really pronounced in the trailer, and that really got me thinking if maybe we're going to get some sort of memory system finally. With this one especially because it's like so speculative because this one is just speculation. I don't want to get my hopes up too high for like a good memory system like we had it in The Sims 2, because we didn't get that one for the entirety of The Sims 3, so I shouldn't hope for it. But all of those icons really made me think like these are really like things that would be ingrained in your Sims memory, so maybe that would be super cool. And also like I'm super curious if there are going to be reactions like your Sims being able to object to a wedding, if that would be possible, or if your Sim could also get invited to other people's weddings, or if weddings are only happening when you create a wedding, because we also had that other couple proposing in the background of the game pack. So yeah, still a lot of questions open. I think on the 11th there is going to be a live stream, so I'm still so curious for that one. And yeah, with that one, this build that I didn't talk a lot about in this voiceover is almost complete. I really hope that you liked and enjoyed this video. If you would consider subscribing, you would make me super duper happy, and I hope we'll see each other again.